Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today's video is a breakdown of this past weekend's Canberra, Australia regional. They had 47 players, culminating in a very, very diverse top 8. Very weird. I mean, the OCE always surprises, right? Like, it's just like no Rodon. Very weird, but yeah, man. Like, they got, as you can see here, we only had 47 players, so the number percentage is kind of skewed. We had 4 Godzillas, 3 Deku, 3 of the top, 4, 3 across the top, and then 3 Hawks, and then 2s, and then a bunch of 1-ofs. There were some pretty good surprises. There are a couple decks that were like a win and in that we're going to take a look at. Very exciting to see some of these cooler cards, like Raph, the character revealed, got represented, even spoiler alert, top 8'd, which was crazy. But yeah, like, very cool to see a very diverse, meta breakdown. And like the OCE always surprises. They always bring new stuff. They bring weird stuff. Can't fault them, man. Like, they play the way they play, and they love it, and they love like a diverse and weird meta, and it's just wild. And so I got the top 8 deck lists, thanks to UniVersus. Again, the GOATs, so we can get this information out to you as soon as possible. The folder link will be in the description box below of all 47 decks. I'm going to go over some of the meta breakdown that they have for at least first place, and it's wild how in-depth they go, and it's just, they're the GOATs. UniVersus is the GOATs. So we're going to go ahead and get into the top 8 breakdown, where we have Pony coming in at first seed. Alex Gurney, no surprise there. He top 4'd at Worlds with Pony, so just adding in, taking out, adding in better cards, frogs, stuff like that. Bailey, no slouch, always is at Worlds. I think they've come all 3 times, I believe. And I know the last 2 for sure. I'm not sure about year 1 Worlds, but Bailey is a force to be reckoned with. Kai and Sam, they are the stream match for top 8, and it was a wild one. Just 2 big brutes just slogging it out. Avison and Matthew, very cool to see Aaron 2 up there. Aaron 3, technically, because Aaron 2 is the Challenger deck guy. Aaron 3 is really sick. I am a avid, as everyone know, I'm an Aaron 4 lover, so love seeing some Humanity's Hope up there. And then Thanik, James O'Doherty, perennial powerhouse there in the OCE, is topped multiple times, came to Worlds last year, did pretty well on Hawks. And Eve's playing Reiner 1. Reiner 1 being a huge surprise. I know like Tam, David Toombs, and a few other people are really high on the character just because of the way that so many decks want to just play this shorter game, but if you get to flip and ruin their board, you get to just set them back to the Stone Age. So yeah, and he plays a really good DR package, does some really cool things with some really cool cards that we're getting into. I don't have the bracket filled out all the way because I never saw another graphic like that, because they just usually just do this one and don't care anymore, which they really should fill out the bracket every step, and then whatever. But I was a good content creator this time. I did watch some of Swiss. I watched maybe an hour at most, but most of it was, hey man, well, we'll be back. And then top 8. I watched top 8, top 4, and then I fell asleep in the middle of finals. Woke up this morning, watched the rest of finals, and saw who won. So it was a really good match. Finals was a really wild match, to be honest. It was fast-paced and crazy. So we had Bailey upsetting Alex, and then we had Sam beating Kai. Avison taking down Humanity's Hope, rip. Eves taking down James O'Doherty, and then he gets to run the Hawks bracket. And Eves takes down Avison in top 4, and then Bailey takes down Sam for a 8-6 matchup in finals, which was crazy. Like, the 8-6 matchup, just wild. I guess, if it comes down to it, Mimics minus damage, he can pummel damage like crazy, and determined advance, unyielding, stuff like that. Very cool, especially on the Earth symbols. So you really get some good pieces. And then Eve's just makes those feathers don't do any damage. And if I believe both Hawks decks were comboing with Massive Mutant Machine. When we get into the deck, we'll see how the tech is, and then we'll move forward. So let's go ahead and get rid of this slideshow, and then pop up deck number 1. We got Reiner Braun 1. This deck is just focused on really foundation denial and destruction. We are playing for our attacks. We're trying to get to that super fast build. We're playing the Colossus SWAT just to get to that. I think it's 9, right? It's not 8, it's 9, right? Yeah, these guys are 9. Correct, yeah. We get to 9, and we flip Luna Ring Luna Ring with we play Unyielding in the board, so we could do the Unyielding into the Luna Ring, but we do get to pump Luna Ring's damage with the Reiner enhance that we ruin on face. Battle or release, no surprise there. It's a standard death card. It's a staple on all 3 of these symbols. It's just value. You get to draw, get a bunch of damage, especially with Reiner, where we're flipping a lot. We're destroying foundations, getting things back face down. We're using some flip ability, so we could actually max out this damage. A 4 height for 10 is nothing to scoff at that draws a card. I'm on board for that value all day. Another card out of AOT3 that I think is getting slept on, mostly because it's the Blitz that people see it and they just don't care about it. Makasa's Fatal Cleave, 4/4, 1 mid block, fantastic block on an attack. We response after an attack after this attack deals damage, we get to destroy a rival foundation. That's just a point and click. And it's off zone, which is really good. It wears stats very well, and it has a 4 diff that can just pop a foundation. We love it. Now, this is kind of wild. I haven't seen Acid Splash played in a deck in a long time. Like, probably not since at least locally, I think it's only been played a few times. And one of those times is me playing a Wolfwood Destruction deck. So, Acid Splash 4 from Girl Power, 4 difficulty 3, check 2 mid block, 0 low for 5. Flip a card in your card pool, it gets X speed. X equals the flip card's difficulty. So what's really cool is if we lead with Colossus SWAT and then into the Acid Splash, we flip the Colossus SWAT for 6 speed. And it's a 6 low for like 7 or whatever. And then we can also spend a momentum to destroy any rival foundation, which is great. It leads us into that foundation denial plan. And then we got Jawjammer, man. Jawjammer's huge. We're playing a bunch of cards that get face downs. We get value on destruction, or on sacrificing, to be fair. And this is it's a throw that wears damage well. Like Enormous Axe and Reiner go a long way here, and we can pump it over to 10 damage. And then last but not least, we have Trigrab Beam. As the 3rd attack in our card pool, we get to destroy, sacrifice a foundation, and then remove a card from our rival's hand. So if they're blocking, they're probably down to 1 or less cards. 2 or fewer cards, I should say, and then we're just going to get rid of the best card in their hand if they have a hand, because every attack is coming in for massive damage. And then we also get more damage if we can remove anything. We do have I'm With You, so if we do somehow get rid of an I'm With You during the turn, or I don't think we have any other enhance remove. We do not. So really, that bottom enhance is usually just blank unless we have a I'm With You that we destroy. Or sacrifice, I should say. So, into the actions, we got Genkai's Guidance in 3 Chomp. I forget who it was. I was talking, I think it was Jeremy Ray. We were chit-chatting about cards. It was a couple people chit-chatting about cards that really haven't seen a lot of play in the meta. And it was funny, he said during playtest, Chomp was in every deck. It was because he never wanted the Titans to get to 9. Which is kind of funny because it's the 9 Titans through the ages. They have to need 9 foundations. I like that. That's very cool if that was on purpose. But Chomp was just there to destroy foundations so they didn't transform, because transforming means they win. But yeah, Chomp has a Breaker 2 block, which is great. It can get rid of a 2 difficulty or less foundation. It's just a good, useful card. Again, action slots are at a premium because, as we can see in the board, he's citing Showdown, citing Filled with Doubt, and another Genkai's Guidance. So it's really you need to play like an action package that can bleed into your board and into your main deck. Into those foundations, we got Syndicate Target and Botan's coaching. No surprise there. He's on death. He's playing some of the best zero diffs in the game. I'm with you for extra damage and reduction after we destroy it with Reiner from on our front side for extra damage reduction. And same thing with on our backside. Do that too. Yes. So we can do that to ruin. I forgot. So we can destroy this during Reiner backside enhance, and then ruin one. Get 2 extra damage. Battle for Dominance to keep our card pool clear during defense. We get to also draw a card. Pushing the limits. Anytime you have a character that says sacrifice on face and they have the death symbol, you slam 4 of this. This is a staple in sacrifice death. Sacrifice on face, pretty much I think only. Maybe like 3 or 2 copies. If you have like other outlets, but I don't know. Maybe you just do play 4 because we all love drawing cards. And then settling old debts, which is kind of funny because we want to get to 9. But then we start we have to use these before we start ruining our rival down to nothing, because it only is active if we both have 6. Split Body's fantastic for board control. 2/5/3 low block flip. After your attack is blocked, you flip a rival foundation. So it's a point and click, which is fantastic, just for board control because our moves are coming in for threatening damage, and they have to block eventually. Fighting for control. It says response speed check hacking. Say like our rival's going really, really deep into turn. They play that last attack, and then we flip the fighting for control. Also, if they block, if your rival's turn, so you don't get to do it on blocks, but so if they play an action or they play an attack, asset, backup, you can just make them fail it, and then they have to think about passing checks going into your turn. Weapon Clash, always cool. Enormous Axe. I include this in the ramp package. This allows you to just build the top card you're committed. Also, you sacrifice any face downs for -2 damage, which is pretty sweet. Always cool. It just helps you ramp. Also, it locks damage into a move. So if your rival plays like a 5 damage move and then they have some way to pump it, you just lock the damage. Same thing, you can protect your damage from DR as well, which is really nice. Enormous Axe is if we destroy it and it's face up, we get to build the top card face down. Also, it gets up to 4 damage for every face down we get. It's just a really, really good ramp piece in this deck because our character just sacrifices on face on backside, we lose no value. And Dark Ward, 2/5/3 low block, probably one of the most highly played cards I'd say at a Critical Role. I could be wrong. Response flip. After your rival plays a responsibility on a card in your card pool, get to cancel effects. That's like Breaker. That's like the R on Lethal Slash. Maybe it's like a card pool response or whatnot. So it's just you just get to cancel it, which is really nice. Echo is another one that Echo is a really powerful ability. This cancels it. Going into the board, we got Devastating Loss, Sacrifice, Destroy one rival asset or backup. So we don't really have a way to deal with backups in the deck other than Devastating Loss. So this is other than directly attacking them, and sometimes that's just not worth it because it's just not worth it sometimes. So just easy. This is just like a 2-for-1 shot on the cards. We actually see this come in handy a lot in his run through Top Cuts because the Hawks decks are asset-based combo decks, and then Mimic in finals is an asset deck. So this really comes into play like huge, huge, huge. Unyielding for board control. Another Genkai's Guidance Showdown for action cancels and off-turn committing. We can commit 2 of our rival best pieces. And Filled with Doubt. It's Filled with Doubt. So let me see if this comes up good on the screen. Yes. Okay, cool. So right here, this is some of the overview you get in the UniVersus file. So you get to see the event, the summary, how many rounds. We get to see the personal stats, so we get to see where they faced out, where they finished, their Swiss record, top cut, their seeding, and every match they played against every opponent. You also get a link to their deck list, so you can go, oh, he 2-0'd that Midoriya, we can just go to that list and see what that Midoriya list was playing, and then we can go back. So which is really, really cool. There's a lot of data to look at, which is fantastic. And you also get the event link, which is even cooler. So moving on to the next deck list. We got Bailey on Mimic. All right, that's all set up. Good. We're good. Cool. Actually, let me do one thing because I want to do this. We don't get to see their board. We'll get to their board in a second. So with Mimic, we're on Earth. We're also kind of playing like a Foundation Denial deck. We got Unyielding. We got Earthbreaker. Earthbreaker is very good. We have Thrashabout. Ooh, this is cool. After you play this card, flip one rival Foundation. I don't know, why wouldn't we just play Dragon Strike here? It's the same stats. Interesting. I wonder why they didn't. Why they played this? Because it says flip one rival Foundation, and maybe so. But like you can't give it powerful or anything, so I don't know why you wouldn't just play Dragon Strike. It's the same stats. It's a 5 mid 5. It flips a Foundation, it seals itself, but as a deadlock response, and it has POW 2 EX2. So I think I'd rather just play that over this. That's very interesting. I wonder what the choice came in on that one. Trigger transformation, no surprise there. Determined advance, and a character like Mimic who can pile on damage and then use all your momentum from EX is crazy. Titan Cliff for hand fixing and building in our 6s. And Gigantification Swing, which is great because I believe all of our attacks are charges, except for the charges and Furies. Fury. They're very meh. Maybe that's why, because it's a Fury and it works with Gigantification Swing. And the only one that doesn't work with Gigantification Swing is Unyielding. So it seems like the combo would be we're going to debuild you down to 4, and then we'll Earthbreaker you to destroy more Foundations, and then we'll just play giant big attacks because we are Mimic and we get to commit assets to pass checks. Turtles gave you Thrashabout. Taiyaki's no surprise. Soup obviously triggered. These are like your main staples. I do love the anti-Titan artillery. It gives you 1 extra damage, and against a Titan it gives you another one. Plus it gives you a point and click on a rival asset or Foundation. Since you are the active player, you get to target tap a thing first before your rival even gets to, which is pretty rad. Titanstone Knuckles is really good. It gives us a little bit of stun, a little bit of board control with stun. It gives us some more asset hate, and we get to flip more rival Foundation after this attack is after your attack is or an attack is blocked technically, because it says after this attack is blocked. And then airship, man. You know, he's playing the City Rampage package. He's playing City Rampage. In a 6-hander. I know this is like the cool thing to do in Mimic, but like I don't know, man. Like I would rather just play better cards, but it's just me. Filled with doubt. Obviously filled with doubt, you know. Going into the board, we got into the main deck Foundations. We got a Pro Hero, 1-man Inferno, because we don't mind milling, because with Mimic's response to pick up an attack, we do want some attacks in our discard pile. Let me center this because it looks wonky. There we go. Cool. And then Shobishin for block tricks, so we can, breaker 2 our rival for defense. Swallowed by a normal, something we can build off a Titan Cliff, and we're playing in, like on our 6 difficulty or greater attacks, because Trigger Transformation is a 7 difficulty, I believe. It will get 1/1, which is kind of nice. We play it for a 4 on a 4, and then 4+, and then get 1/1. Inspiring Song is really good. This actually, correction, this may be the most heavily played card out of Critical Role other than Dark Ward and Violent Animus Shot and Sweeping Daggers. I would like to see the metadata on that one. 2 Incredible Display because we love to cancel responses. Moment of Normalcy because it's Moment of Normalcy. Every deck should please play 1. Power of Love is interesting. 3/5, 2 high block. Tenacious Destroy. After your rival plays a non-character ability that cancels your enhance or responsibility, cancel its effect. So it's a cancel to your cancel, so that's great. And then we get to seal, we commit seal 1, Death, Evil, or Void Foundation. That's pretty nice. So Gives us a little bit of board control, protects our cancels. It's very nice. Finally, free for momentum gen and ultra regen to get some health back, or if we're all committed out, we can get a card, any card out of our discard pile. It's very interesting to see, mostly it's you can pass checks with your assets, but it's really interesting to see like only 20 foundations in a deck. It's very weird. Let's go into the board here. Let me see, make sure this is all set up good. Yep. Oh yeah, so we got vast strength to vast strength to blank attacks, another filled with doubt, another moment of normalcy, another gigantification swing and thrash about. We do have fortitude for the armored titan. This is probably for pony matchups and decks that value their keywords a lot. And then Scanlan's hand to do some really cool commit non-character cards or commit characters, and then we can block and then build it, and then another twisting surrounding. So that's very cool. That's a very, very neat deck. It's Mimic. I've played Mimic for like 2 seconds, and then I just figured it wasn't for me because I just am not that type of game. I'm not a Mimic gamer, so I like having foundations, and it's just weird. All right, so third place we have Avacyn on Hawks on Order. They were doing the studying the standards into the equipment heist into attack into some mutant machine, and we have a backup combo with studying the standards. Let's get into the cool neat cards. Out of Turtle, studying the standard, 4 difficulty, 3 check, 1 low block, 4 low 4. Speed and damage values of each other attack you play the turn becomes 4. Our Hawk's feathers become 4 6s, which is very sick. And then let's just say we have a massive mutant machine that gives 5/5, so it's a 9 for 11. And on a 1 diff, that is wild. We got pristine swordplay. We get to ready an asset that hasn't been readied, and then we get to sack an asset. So let's say this is like our 3rd attack, and we ready our massive mutant machine, then we use it, a 9 mid 9, and then we sacrifice that asset for 7 damage. It just becomes a 9 mid for 16 on a 4 diff. Sure, man. That's something. Wobble combo, baby. Superfly Stomp's very, very cool in Hawks. I was making sure to get 4 copies right away. For any character that wants cards in their discard pile, 4 difficulty, 4 low 4, 1 low block, 3 check, Frenzy, Fury, Blitz, spend a momentum. Your rival spends a momentum and sacrifices a face-up foundation. And then Blitz, search your deck for 1 card, add it to your discard pile. So we get to get our Hawk's Feathers almost online immediately when this comes up, when we get to play these. Not to mention, if people block your attacks, Frenzy gets 1/1 for every blocked attack. Very nice. Being Order, we get to play Violent Animus Shot for some board control against assets. Big Fist Bash is really, really good in the Hawk's Feathers setting the standards combo because it becomes a 4 mid 4, and then it gets 2 extra damage if it is like the 4th card in your card pool, which is very nice. Featherstorm just enables the combo by saying your Hawk's Feathers don't count as progressive for the turn. It gives you some extra speed, which is really nice. So into the asset package, we are playing 8. We got an item box, Ichigaki, airship, Ceratos, and a mutant machine. So it being 1X's of each, because I believe Equipment Heist says you get to discard pile. Yeah, so you could just Superfly stomp these into your discard pile if you want, if you've checked them. Because Equipment Heist says you can get them out of your deck or discard pile. So you can play 1X just to make sure your deck's a little thinner. Then we got 4 massive mutant machines because we want to see it and we want to get a bunch of damage on our moves. And then ready it and then give more damage. Okay, so for actions we have 10 actions. Oh my gosh, we have a Mondo Gecko. Holy shit. We have 19 non-foundation non-attack cards. This is wild. They're wild out there in the OCE. We got a Filled with Doubt, 2 Showdown, Fierce Wings to go search for all of our cool stuff, and then 4 Equipment Heist. I saw them lose in their matchup. I believe it's top 4, where they lost to the Eves deck. Eves' Reiner deck. This has no block. This was the last card in their hand when they died because they didn't have a block. Mondo Gecko is a force to be reckoned with. VME reimagined. It's just he's righteous, bro, and he's really good, and gives you a little bit of speed control, a little bit of speed, hey, a little bit of pump and negation. Also, if they try to attack it, they have to commit one, and then yeah, it's really cool. This deck's super sick because I saw them turbo out the I believe it was I don't know if it was them or top 8 against Eves where they turboed out the Ceratos. That was the first asset they grabbed, and they just started sculpting and just going crazy. It was really cool. The way this deck combos, it's very, very cool. We got 4 1-man Infernos because we want to see our Hawk's Feathers. I mean, we got some really choice zero diffs in this deck. We got 4 Botan's Coaching because, Botan's Coaching. Your Finished is really cool. It's a 0-3, a 0-4, 0-5, 3 low block enhance. The top card of your discard pile is a copy of this attack. We get to draw a card. And then commit as Deadlock Pressure. Commit one Rival Foundation. We're just able to play a bunch of zeros because we're playing a bunch of like assets, which are basically just better foundations, but we can't pass checks with them. Feather Control. Extra Cheese is very cool because if we discard cards or if we mill it during attack, we get to build them for free. It's just value. Moment of Normalcy because Moment of Normalcy is awesome. We got Strength and Beauty. It gives us a little speed on our mid moves, and then also it locks cards into card pools. So like for Pony, Bakugo, Mikasa, anyone who's trying to recur attacks, the Hawk's Mirror even. So because like you can pick up cards, from your card pool to play them again. Hacker Extraordinaire to fight the asset decks. Number 2 Pro Hero. We lose a health, get minus a speed. Also, we get to discard a momentum. When they play a non-character ability that commits or seals any number of our foundations, we get to cancel it. 2 Carnival Barker, which is very cool because I thought I saw we do play allies. Okay, so Pristine Sword plays an ally. I was wondering about this. Dr. Jagaki's an ally. I think that might be the only allies. Yeah, so Carnival Barker, I don't know if we're going to be using the Tenacious ability that much. We discard an ally card. I guess we can discard itself and reduce the tax damage to 1 in a pinch, or we can just add one other card from our stage to the top of the deck. So let's say we need like a 5 check on top, or we need to add one of the assets back so we can rebuild it. We could do that too, which is kind of cool because we could add, let's say we use Mutant Machine, right, on a move. We add it to the top of our deck, and then we go fishing with Equipment Heist to rebuild it and then get another instance of 5/5. That could be the combo. That's a very neat way to do that. I like that. Or we can also reset our military airships too if we do that way too. That's very neat. That's a very neat way to use the same asset multiple times. I like that. It's very cool. Replicate is research. We get to get a scheme from our discard pile to our hand, so we're trying to get Equipment Heist out so we can play it every turn and get our combo online. And then new number 1, 3/5, it just says, hey man, I get to unseal a thing in my stage. Also, we also get to return an attack to its printed speed plus or minus 1. All right, into the sideboard. We got 2 more Violent Animus Shot, 2 more Big Fizz Bash. We got the 4x Coemless task to cancel other actions, and I don't know how often that form came up, but it'd be really interesting to see. Carnival Barker and another one if we want to make sure our combo's online, and another ally card for that response, and then we got another Moment of Normalcy. So very cool deck. Very cool deck. All right, next up, 4th place. Byakko. I don't know if this is all going to fit on screen. It's 111 cards, man. It's close. Underneath that hold on tight down below over there is a Titanic Combat. So only 1 foundation couldn't fit on the screen. So that's very interesting. Okay, so Byakko, the big cat's back. You know, he just has 38 health. He pumps on damage. He loves playing a bunch of cards that mill, likes throws, likes being able to say, hey, you can't block things, and just, just flips your entire stage and you're just miserable the entire time. So beast summoning, Berserker Bite. Crash Through is a really interesting one. So it's a 3 difficulty throw. If it deals 3 or more damage, your rival spends a momentum. So it's really just a 3 damage throw that we can just throw at the end of a chain. Double Hammerhead Fist. Moon's Wrath is super sick in this character. It's a 4 difficulty, 3 check, 2 high block, 6 damage move. It loves to wear Thunderous War stats. Because let's just say we give it 5 damage with Byakko, and then we Thunderous Roar for like 12 speed. It's 14 high for 13 or 11 or whatever, however damage you want. Yeah, it's wild. It's Keyless best attack, and it's just better in other characters. Sadness. Titan Cliff to hand fix and build in 6s. We got countering tossed for some throw hate and for throws. It's a very good move. He obliterated people with this. Survey Core teamwork is very interesting. It gives us a little bit of speed, a little bit of damage, and it gives us a little bit of zone mix-up on our next 2 moves out of AOT2 Secret Rare. It's a very cool card. It hasn't seen a lot of play since it's been released. But yeah, it's a really neat SR that doesn't see a lot of play that should. It's a very, very good card. Butt Basher just flips more things. It's 6 low for a kabillion damage in this character. Dexterous Assault. Now this is one of my favorite cards out of AOT3. 5 difficulty, 3 check, 1 mid block, 4 mid for 7. Deadlock stun 2, Fury Titan, Blitz. Change the zone of this attack. So it's always a 4 low for 1,000,000. Response, and then the cool thing is it's an awesome block trick as well. Response after you play this card as a block, change its block zone to any other zone. So it's an omni block too. It's just really hard to fit it into a lot of decks because the 5 difficulty slot is so competitive. You just don't want it to be plain well. All this does is it changes the zone, and it's an off zone, and it's an off zone omni block. Off zone attacking, omni block defense that has some deadlock pressure. Maybe after rotation, this card sees more play. It really wants a character that can put a lot of speed on it and a lot of stats, I should say. Like Aaron 3. Aaron 3 puts a hell of a lot of stats on this thing. So, but yeah. And then we got Battle Order Release, because you just play Battle Order Release if you have these symbols. It doesn't matter if the keywords matter. It's just, yeah, man. It's a 4 diff cantrip for, yeah, it's great. We got a 1x military airship, referee jury, and we got, because we got to do jury loops, we stack them, drew them, stack them, drew them, draw them, whatever. Tark Terminant Looms hasn't seen a lot of play lately. Hasn't been for a long time, to be honest, in my eyes. 1/5, 2 mid. Remove, add 1 card from your momentum to your hand, draw a card. So we basically +1 on it, but we guarantee an attack. So we can guarantee a throw or a Moon's Wrath if it's late game. Maybe double overhead hammer fist for the unblockable. Which I should talk about that real quick. He was playing the double overhead hammer fist unblockable combo. So you enhance, your rival must flip 1 foundation as an additional cost to block. So if they're all face down, they can't block it. And then you just yeet it to the moon with all the damage, and then they die. Into the foundations, we got Pro Hero, Father Sin to mill more cards because we want to get to that magical number of 30. Adaptive Strategy, if our speed's below printed, we get to draw a card. This card hasn't seen play very much. I guess because people are going to be... I guess he was teching for Rodon for that. Maybe. We got Big Appetite because we're a 5-hand size character and we're always going to draw an extra card for it. Concern for a Friend is really interesting. We do have 3 or more face downs. We get to commit, draw a card, and then if our charge attack gets 3 damage for a momentum, how many charge attacks were we playing? One, 2. Okay, so it was probably just for the card draw, more than likely, because it's not really that bottom rate's not really worth it. Dangerous Hybrid because it's a 5 diff. It's a 2 diff as a 5, disguised as a 5 diff. Dedicated Artisan gives us extra card draw whenever our rival draws a card. Fearsome Transformation because we're always going to have momentum because we're playing throws and we draw cards. Ferocious Attacker, why not? We're playing throws, so we draw cards. Massive Size because Massive Size is broken in this character. Saving Bakugos to protect our things and to draw cards. Haggler for more card draw and health gain. Well, Thunderous Roar is really good in this character. We get so Thunderous Roar is 3, 5, 4 mid block. Don't worry, we're never blocking with it. Enhanced Commit, your attack gets 1 speed for each of your rival's face down foundations. And if you have 30 or more cards in your discard pile, gains an additional 1 speed for each of your rival's face down. So it's +2 for every face down. So it just makes your moves unbelievably fast. We got Ultra Regen for health gain and card draw. Unbreakable for destruction, flip, removal, protection. Also, if we try to block a thing. Growing Unease, first enhance flip draw card. He really values drawing cards. Dumbfounded is a 0 diff. Disguised as a 3 diff. Hold on tight. If attack deals damage, we draw a card because we're usually tanking a lot of things. And Titanic Combat, which says 2/5/3 low. Commit if you take damage. We get to ramp off the top of our deck. And then your attack, commit. This attack gets 2 damage and your rival commits a foundation. So into the board. These decks are massive. This is 111 cards. It's crazy. We got 4 copies of Great Buckler because we want people's cards to stay in the card pool. Fists solve my problems. No, I don't want to see previous page. My fists solve my problems for speed hate. I guess maybe because of Deku, or if like someone had a speed penalty transfer over, they can do that. And then prepare for an ambush. It's actually a really cool piece of tech. But again, in Byakko, are we blocking are we blocking that much? 2/5/3 mid, response flip. If you make a check to block, that check gets +1 for each face down rival foundation. So you're getting +5 to block once or twice, depending on what it is. So yeah, it's very cool. Very cool deck for Sam Taylor. Congratulations on your 4th place. 5th place is our first seed, Alex Gurney playing Pony to Sonori. Really very similar to Mike Hardiman's deck from last week. We got 1 less Hunter's Ally, 1 less Frog. Everything else is pretty much standard Earth Pony, to be honest. We are playing the cool 1X Flying Elbow Drop, which is very sick. Battle Aura, Electric Moth. What I guess like you don't want to play that many 5 diffs, but man, I love Earthbreaker as a low mix-up in this character. Because to be honest, we're never playing this as an attack. Earthbreaker as a low mix-up in Earth Pony is very crazy. Excuse me. Into the backups. We got the Mini Godzilla. We call Pony Mini Godzilla around locals because Genghis Frog makes her like Godzilla. 5 difficulty, 5 check, 5 stamina, 0 mid block. Your attacks get 3 damage, and then response after this backup is attacked, you burn 3. Your rival burns 3. So this allows Pony to reach exponential damage numbers at any point in the game. The minute it slaps down, you have to be on watch because all of her moves are coming for 7+ now, and you're gonna die eventually, just because she's gonna play a million attacks and draw a million of cards. How this character still is getting allowed to do what she gets allowed to do, I don't know. Maybe because she just doesn't outright win every event, because for some reason she just loses to anybody that can output damage like a Godzilla and or Mimic, who can just crush her. Because a lot of the decks, even though the deck does play really good defense, it's just sometimes 22 just isn't enough. We got 1x Kiyomi. Due to the new unique rule, it's not worth playing more than 1, because we used to just use Kiyomi, then build in a fresh one to reuse it, but now that one gets sacrificed, so you don't get to do that cool combo anymore. Into the main deck foundations, we got some Saving Bakugos. That does trigger off of Byako's Enhance, so you could just flip, unflip, and draw a card. We got a Pro Hero, Warm and Bubbly for some DR. One Science Bros, which is pretty good because we are removing Feral Shrieks and Wish Hards. Do we have... See, the only version the reason... I know Tam likes the air version better, mostly because incompatible quirks just let... This card makes incompatible quirks broken. They just work really well together because you remove from 1-1 X, Y, and Z. Mother's Embrace, because we're clearing our cards, obviously. Great Buckler to trap cards in card pools. Kirishima's Assistance is very interesting because if you're playing all off-zone moves, yeah, like if they try to mid-block breaker you, this cancels it, which is really good. Causes admission, no surprise there. Push the advantage again, no surprise there. These are pony staples. Shobashins for some defense. Weightless to ready our face downs, which is kind of nice because we do play a bunch of flip costs, and if we have any rival targeted flips, such as allows us to ready it. Aaron Sidestep for defense and card draw on defense. This card's incredibly good. It's out of the AOT Challenger deck. It's cheaper to buy a Challenger deck than it is to buy a playset of these guys. Last time I looked. So take a look at that. Feral Shriek, Pony Staple, Quick Response for Deadlock Kane, and all of our attacks except for 1 are high. So yeah, we're going to get 2 speed. Incredible Display, Moment of Normalcy are just 2 very good foundations. It cancels responses. This is a damage reset, speed reset. So into our board, we got Referee Jury because we're on Earth, and why not? We got 1X Soup. This is very interesting. I wonder if they just, like, they wanted a +1 mid, and this card isn't bad if you can just build it, right? It clears your card pool. It circumvents Breaker very well. It gives you a little bit of health gain, a little bit of damage, and it just extends your life and extends your damage a little bit. But yeah, it's a very good card. It's just really weird that it's just a 1X in the board. Timely Counter Attack, 3 difficulty, 3 check. So it's an action that has Breaker 3 on it. Also, it's a very good 3. It's not terrible as a low mix-up if you can put like Genghis Frog stats on it. So it's a 2 low 6. If you have less foundations or less health, it just gets speed and damage up to the butt. Face Shield and Solve My Problems. Face Shields for just, omni blocking and getting rid of damage like throws. Fist Solve My Problems is for Deku 6 and Speed 8. I just assume this is for Deku 6 every time I see it in a deck. It's just the Deku 6 counter card. It's like, cool, man, you're going to flash it, I'm going to set it to 4, and I can block it. And that is Alex Gurney in 5th place. All right, we got James O'Doherty on Hawks. We're going to try to just pile through these decks. The video is running close to 45 minutes or more. It looks like he played way less assets. So he played just the airship and the mutant machine. Looks like his deck is a little smaller. We're playing a little more. Oh, maybe it's the same. I didn't check the other deck out. So we have a Mondo Gecko, which is great. We play 2 Showdown and 3 Equipment Heist. We also played less. Actions in the main board. We sideboard all of our actions. The Showdowns, the Runaways, the Filled with Doubts, the Genkai's Guidance. Man, Order has so many cool cards. It's just too bad you can't use them to pass checks. Charismatic Approach is really good. That just allows you to make sure you get your combo online. Let's see here. We got Thunderspear Barrage. Okay. This is sick. All right, so we could setting the standard Thunderspear Barrage. So, it's a 4/4, and then it just becomes, you just do the stats thing, which is very cool. Anima Shot, no surprise, setting these standards, and then we got the Hawks feather package, Big Fist Bash to pick up more feathers. Yeah, not too bad. Very, very linear, a very, very focused Hawks deck. We like that. We got Botan's coaching, and you're finished as our zeros. Let's Stay Out, which is really cool. Are we playing the pizza cards? Maybe it's just a 1/3. Maybe just wanted the... That's not a pizza card. Okay, we don't have pizza cards. So this must be just spam that has Speed Hate on it. That's fine. I mean, it's a 1 diff with my... Every symbol has this as a commit for -2 speed. We got Flush from Hiding. Okay, so our speed hate's in our ones because Hawks actually makes it another -1. So really, these are commits for -3s, and if it happens to get that 3, it's really good. Relaxed demeanor to get attacks into our discard pile. Destined for mainstream success with a 4-check is very, very good. Feather control is probably his best foundation because we get to just add our feathers back to our hands from our card pool and then just replay them. Defend the innocent, we're blocking, man, and we draw cards on defense. A new #1 for speed resets. Yelena's Machinations. It's like my favorite outwit card because it self-fuels the outwit. If every outwit card just flipped itself, it'd be amazing, but I don't know if that'd be broken or not, so I don't know. Chivalrous Thief, it's momentum hate, and it gives our next slammer taunt 2 and 2. I don't think we have like one slam there. Yeah, we give Big Fist Bash 2/2. I'm down. I'm down for that. Incompatible Quirks is broken. This card is nuts, and if you're on these symbols, you're playing at least 2 copies. Moment of Normalcy, because Moment of Normalcy, everyone knows it. Hacker Extraordinaire for asset hate, and some off-turn card draw if you need it on your rival's turn or your turn. And then Charismatic Approach allows you and your rival on their rival's turn to search for any card in your deck and add it to your hand. So you don't have to show them because it's just a card, so your rival can get an attack if they want, but you could also get the piece that you need to murder them on the next turn, which is really cool. It's a very neat card. It's very interesting to see if this stays in the deck, but that does allow you to find your combo piece super fast. And that's James O'Doherty in 6th place with Hawks. Order Combo Wombo. And 7th place, we got Raph. Oh, Raph. Man, this guy had a good showing. I'm gonna say it. Pretty good. Not though, like, I didn't expect him to top. And I don't know if it's because of the OCE or what, but man, Raph in testing for us has been rough. Like, he just gets blown out. Like, if you don't kill your rival or if you don't hit your resistance trainings, X, Y, and Z. You got the Nuff Talks, the Elbow Drops, the Lethal Slashes, the Throttles. United in Battle. I want to talk about this card. This card may be one of the best Ultra Rares in the set. I know I talked about the top Ultra Rares in the set, and I believe this was in it. I know its stats are kind of mediocre at a 4/4. It does have Ally keyword, which is super cool. Some ally synergy if you need it. A 1 high block is very nice. But that response, yeah, sure, it has to hit, but if it hits, you draw a card. Then you build a foundation from your hand, turns into difficulty 3 or less. So it's any foundation that's 3 or less. Even the one you ripped off your hand. We saw a really cool play. Kai hit his rival with Unite in Battle, saw the resistance training off the top of the deck, and then it's instantly built it. Which was wild because then it's just self-filled its own momentum, and it was very good. Very cool. It just sucks that he lost in top 8 to Byakko. We do see Grish's Attack Titan to grab more attacks, so if we pitch our hand and we need like one more attack, we got it there. Genghis Frog, we are playing 3 copies, which it has a 0 mid block, so that's fine, but we have no way to cheat this guy in. We are raw dogging playing this guy as on a 5, as our first form in the turn, and then building out from there. It does give us immense reach where we don't have to discard our hand that often. If we're able to have him stick around, it at least allows us to push a little deeper in the attack turn and threaten more damage. It looks like our foundations are a lot of really good value. We got capture the target to ready after we string 3 or 4 deep. Daily training to build foundations. So if we're drawing extra cards to supplement our discard cost, we can build the foundations. Or we have these. We use them before we discard our hand to get the value. Feral Shriek, because it's Feral Shriek and it has discard on face. You play it. Fervent Demeanor to make our Furies easier to play. High value target. It does give us some destruction protection, and it allows us to pass checks when we block the 1 or 2 times we do. I'm awesome to spend a momentum and then get 5 damage, so it gives us even more reach after we hit some people. Jin's Parry is a block trick. If we're blocking a couple things, We have minus to speed if it's attacks in our card pool, and then this just blocks on, it just ignores progressive, so it's always on 3+, which is nice. Keeping Ares safe allows us to, keep our foundations up during stun. Resistance training is like probably the #1 defensive packet part. Well, actually, probably more likely Moment of Normalcy is his #1 defensive plan, but then this is the second one where we just remove spend momentum, and then if we have no cards in hand, we draw up to our printed hand size, which is kind of nice. After they play attack too, so like we can have one card, block it, and then get our entire hand back, which is kind of nice. Spirit Beast Poo, after we block, we build it committed, just a 0/6, which is nice. Final test, we do discard cards during the combat phase with our character. That is true. So we get to draw a card. And then we got 2 copies of Moment of Normalcy. I would say, like, this is probably the Glass Cannon-y of Glass Cannon decks. Like, I only say that because, like, its defense is, like, 2 to 3 cards at most. Like, I want to see a more layered defense, especially with how volatile attacks can be. I get it. He's playing 6 plus, that's 27, so, like, what, 62 cards? Yeah, 62 cards. So, it's more along the lines of he is trying to just kill his rival on turn 3, instead of playing a longer game, a more controlled game. So it's kind of hard to play defense if you don't have like a really, really layered defense. Next up, we got Matthew Maslins, Aaron 3, Humanity's Hope. This character's cool, man. You mill 3. I'll just go over him because we probably haven't really talked about him a whole lot. He's a 6/30, Fire and Order. Very cool symbol spread. Your attack, mill 3. Your attack gets 1 speed for each Fury milled this way, 1 damage for each Titan card milled this way. After an attack deals damage, you have 25 or more cards in your discard pile. Add 1 Titan card from your discard pile to your hand. And then transform Aaron Yeager, Humanity's Hope. He then transforms into the Attack Titan Advancing. Your Fury and or Titans attacks get 4 damage. Enhance Commit. Add 1 card from your stage to your hand. The next attack you try to play this turn, it gets -3 difficulty and 3 speed. So obviously we're playing Titan and or Furies. That move will get 3 speed, 4 damage. It's crazy. In the attacks, we are trying to play as many Furies and Titan cards. And they're all Furies, and they're all, so we are getting they're all Furies, except for Attack Titan's Haymaker, it looks like. So, Fiery Stare, that's a very cool card. 5 difficulty, 5 check, 3 check, 2 mid block. Slow down, Chris. 5 mid for 5, Fury ranged. Blitz, draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. If the 2 cards share a card type, we get to get 2 damage. We are not playing the discard cards to draw, so we're just gonna get damage no matter what. And then we get to mill with Aaron, so we'll get extra stats. This is just stats of the deck. We are just trying to kill people. Lethal Slash, no surprise there. It is worth the 2 check, 4 difficulty 2 check, 1 mid block, 3 high for 4 Fury weapon. We have to draw a card. Drawing while attacking is awesome. Drawing and building while attacking is even better. That's why I love United in Battle. After it resolves, if there's a second or greater card we played this turn, we get to remove it. So that's really neat. We are playing teaming with the Attack Titan because we are trying to string deep. This does get our stats bonus, and we can change the zone if we have 20 or more cards in our discard pile. Unrelenting Advance from AOT3. This is one of my favorite cards, and I would love to see. I would have liked to see this in the Raft deck, because as a last ditch, 2 mid 9. If they block it, you get an attack back, which is really good. 4 difficulty 3 check, 2 mid for 5, 2 high block, powerful 2 Fury Titan. This card cannot leave your card pool during the combat phase, so you can't get juried. Which is kind of, not referee jury. You can't get Genkai's Guidance, is what I'm trying to say. Or caped, or anything like that. Your rival has to deal with this. After the attack is blocked, mill cards from the top of your deck into get an attack. Add it to your hand. So it's a really good way to just keep punishing your rival if they are like low health and they don't want to block it, but they also can't take the damage. So Next up is Besieged. It's Besieged, man. No surprise there. You know, it's one of the hard cards. Like these two right here, Attack Titan Haymaker and Besieged, are that hard to block package that Fire has access to. Can't be blocked by cards with printed mod of. It can only be blocked by cards of printed mod of 3 or higher. And then Attack Titan's Haymaker, everyone knows what it does. Can't be blocked with weenies. So we got a 1x Dr. Chigaki for cancels. We got 4 Grish's Attack Titan to extend our hand size on form speed, which is really good. And then into the main deck, we got Father Sin. No surprise, we want to mill as many cards as possible to get to that 25, and then so we can flip as fast as possible. Fervent Demeanor makes our Furies easier to play. Titan Training, it's a 6 check that has Fury and Titan on it. That's it. It gives us a little bit of damage, which our character doesn't need. Titan's Power, it's a 2/5 Infinity card from AOT1. It is Titan. Commit this Titan attack gets 2 damage or 2 speed. Deadlock Enhance, our attack. Arrival flips the Foundation. So it's a little bit of board control. We got less for battle because we mill. Botan's Coaching, just for more card digging. Inferno, because why not? We're milling. We got Capture the Target because we're going to string out a lot of moves. Incompatible Quirks because it's cool and it's really neat to re-ready our foundations over and over and over and over again. Hacker Extraordinaire for card draw and momentum gen, and for asset hate. Sacrifice for the Cause. I assume this is in here to protect our damage more than it is to discard for. Maybe that gives us a little bit of oomph when we're really going in for the kill, that if we're off by a few damage, using this will get us there. And then we can sacrifice it to protect our own damage. Season Brawler, because all the good breaker blocks are on attacks. Well, not anymore because we have Donnie's Bow Staff. Killing the Old Ways. First form, commit 1 Rival Foundation. This card's fantastic on a kill turn. If your rival has like one piece of like a moment of normalcy, you just go, commit it, man. And then that's good. And then Radiant Visage to combat momentum decks and momentum gen. Plus it mills 3, so it furthers your game plan even more. Here we go. He was playing Dexterous Assault. 5 difficulty, 3 check, 1 mid, 4 mid, 7. It has our keywords. We can change it to a low. It's an Omni block. It's fantastic. Hey, look. 4 of my fists solve my problems. Deck you hate. Yep, it's just good speed hate that the fire symbol wants. It's just you just don't want to mainboard it. So you just bring it in the side, and then you're able to control some fast attacks on response speed. Filled with Doubt because of Filled with Doubt. So that rounds out our top 8. So I kind of want to go into a couple decks that I know the video's running long, but I really want to take a look at this 9 through like 18, like the win-ins. We got Daniel Pollard with Faye, Queen of Hearts, super cool. We also have an Aiden. We have Aiden on Brad Boimler, acting captain. This is crazy. Like the OCE is just nuts, right? Like they just play like some of the weirdest stuff, which is cool. And then we got up here, we got a Laura Visorin, just a winning in a way. So we're gonna take a look at a couple of the decks real quick. I believe it is right here. We're gonna look at the Allura Visorin on Chaos deck. Let's make sure everything's all aligned. Oh, it's a Mechazoid deck. Ooh, this is cool. So we're only playing 11 attacks. This is interesting. So we're playing Emerge Victorious to kill a backup to get another backup out. This is weird. Okay, then we got Falling Titans, and then we got Resurrected Titans to go get our, we can go kill a Foundation. Kill a Foundation to get a backup and or a shift attack. So we get our Falling Titans, and then we have 8 Mechazoids. Interesting. So we can commit stuff on our rival's turn, then to use the Falling Titans to get more attempts, but every time we can use a Mechazoid we can use these Mechazoids to commit our rival's board out, and then Falling Titans them a million times. This is super cool. We got Exterminate. Okay, so we got 1 cape, and we got 14 actions. So we have Exterminate Mutants, 5/6. It's a scheme. We first form, mill 3, enhance. We get to card pool your turn. Oh, we get to build a copy of Mechazoid on every attack. That's sick. Okay, so if we mill all of them, we can just build them all for free. We sack them during. Oh my gosh. Okay, this deck is neat. So for Falling Titans, we can have 1 Mechazoid out, and we can just loop it over and over again if I'm not mistaken. So the order of operations would go Exterminate Mutants, Falling Titans, build in, so enhance, we build in a Mechazoid, use Mechazoid to commit a piece, Falling Titans respond, sack the Mechazoid, play the Falling Titans. Okay, so yeah, that's all it is. We need 1 Mechazoid and 1 Exterminate Mutants, and we just like kill our rival. We just infinitely play it. I think that's, we just, as long as we can pass checks, right? That deck is sick. This is a neat combo. Wow, OCE brought some tech. This is super cool. Okay, so City Rampage allows us to play it easier. Okay. We got Genkai's Guidance for defense, Runaway for defense, Filled with Doubt for sealing things. We got our 8 copies of Mechazoids, so we can see them. Man, this deck is neat. We got a Master's Pride, Horrifying Realization. These are all, it's the only 0 we're playing, I believe. Yeah, we are. Treasure Hunting to dig for our combo. Fight for Truth to mill more cards into our discard pile. A Last Second Rescue for defense, because after we take a damage, we gain health. Broken Psyche to put damage to 2. And do we have check values of 6s? Oh, we do! We can get Exterminate Mutants with it. We can get our Pass-Through Walls. That's sick. Okay, so we got Incredible Display at a 4x to protect our response, because we need to do it with Falling Titans. I think that's our win con is Falling Titans, and we need to protect our win con. Moment of Normalcy to survive, kill assets and breakers, ready stuff up all the time, and card draw. This deck is super cool. And then into the board. More combo pieces. So this will get rid of, this is for defense, so we make our rival lose all keywords on attack, and all their moves are +1 difficulty. Lever mode for card draw, first form. It also gives a little bit of damage if we have a momentum. Short Kick Admirers to return the Falling Titans to our hand if we have momentum and we don't have backups. Nonagon to seal things. So, okay. So if our Falling Titans gets sealed, we can add it back with the momentum spent. And then we can just continue on our way. That's really cool. 3 Nonagon for sealing defense, and then 3 Scanlan's Hand for block tricking and to commit pieces on our rival's board. This deck is super cool, man. Kai Scaife? I think that's how you pronounce it. This deck is super cool. Like, it's rad. This deck is super rad. Oh, wow. That's a really cool combo. The Mechazoid. All you need 3 pieces. You need well, it's easier if you have City Rampage. So the base combo, Exterminate Mutants, Falling Titans, and 1 Mechazoid in your backup is really cool. It's even better if you have City Rampage, because then you just need to check like 4s. That's dope. That's super cool. Good job, man. Nice showing. And then the last deck I want to take a look at is Daniel Pollard's Fae Queen of Hearts. Let me get this all lined up. All right, so Fae hasn't been played a whole lot, but there are the stalwarts, the stands that will always play. This deck is cool. Came in 15th, I believe, right? 17th, so right in the middle of the pack. How'd they end up? 3-2-1. So not really within shot of top 8, but just on the cusp of top 16. And those extra worlds points. But yeah, Fake Queen of Hearts 721, enhanced, tenacious, flip a foundation. It gets an attack gets +2 or -2, and then commit after your attack deals damage to the top card of your discard pile to your hand. So she's technically an 8-hander if she hits. We are on the water symbol, doing cool water things. We got Vast Hybrid Chimera Kraken. We got Ice Sword for committal and board presence. And then we got Falling Heel Strike to reuse things that we flip. It's very neat. We get to buy back some of those flip costs or flipping with Fae. Infiltration, we get to reuse cards. We get to remove them and bring them back in after the attack resolves. And then Battle Order Release, because it's Battle Order Release, and Falling Skies, because, it's Falling Skies. We are playing mostly high. We are playing everything. Everything's a high but invisible infiltration. But Falling Skies does present a lot of damage, and it's a throw. And then we got Jawjammer, which is probably Faye's second best attack, because Falling Skies is her best attack, in my opinion. We got 1 military airship, 1 Eden box, and 1 Dr. Ichigaki. Water and Order get the coolest assets, and I always want to play them. And they get Referee Jury, which is really cool with Fae, because you could set a damage to 4, flip a foundation, set it to 2, and then you get to draw a free card. Desperate Struggle for damage and speed resets. Condescending, Mansplaining, because we want to yeet the attack out of the card pool. Weapon Clash, Titanic Combat for ramp. Tusk Tooth for card draw. Frantic Rescue to say, hey man, I'm going to take 2, and then all your attacks are +1 difficulty. Broken Psyche to set a move to 2, and then Fae it to nothing. It's very cool. Hard to Kill, we are going to take damage sometimes, and we can flip this with Fae. And then we can unflip it to gain 2 health back after we take damage. Moment of Normalcy, because, Moment of Normalcy. We get a Finally Awake, because we are playing all highs and 1 low, so we get 1/1 on our highs. Long Range Support for attack digging. Machos for cancel. Inspiring for check boosting. Singing Fish is kind of cool. Form Flip, name a card type, reveal the top card of your deck. If the revealed card matches the named type, add it to your hand, otherwise add it to the bottom of your deck. So it's destined for mainstream success at home. It's kind of poopy, because if you name attack and it's a foundation, you have to move it to the bottom. So really, you just name. I think you just name. I mean, you don't want to name anything, because if it's a 5 and you named attack, it goes to the bottom. This is the card I would rather be kind of anything else. But it does give you supplemental draw if you call it right, so it's not terrible in the long run. Undercover Infiltration. This card's very good. I think it's criminally underplayed in the meta right now. It's a 1/5, 3 low Fury. If this is your first move, it gets 1/1. And the Deadlock is nuts. Flip, commit 2 rival foundations. So it's very good. A point and click is fantastic. Plus you get a little bit of stat boost. We got Guardian Angel Chinatown to protect our damage. Warm and Bubbly is a 0 diff, because we also can take damage, but then we take away more damage. And then we got Syndicate Target, because it's probably the best 0 diff in the game out, maybe. I don't know. Someone tell me wrong. Alright. We got Face Shield in the board. Let me roll this up some. Face Shield in the board. Filled with Doubts, because we want to blank stuff. Mikasa's Knee Strike for breaker blocking. I guess if this also allows us to swap out Infiltration and just go an all high lineup if need to. It's probably just more for breaker. I can see that. Another Frantic Rescue and a 1x Cheerleader to flash a move. So that is Daniel Pollard playing Fae Queen of Hearts, coming in at 17th. Very cool deck. Some really cool decks that almost made the cut. And so this video's run on for way too long. It's an hour. Sorry. I actually watched the content this time, so I knew some things that were going on. And so I hope you guys like this. Let me know if you like these in-depth meta breakdowns from the regionals. I'm going to be doing one for Toronto anyway, so let me know if you like it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, comment again, subscribe. Also, don't forget to catch us over on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, I usually do my Take 10s. Where I interview community members. Wednesday, I stream our local events, and then Friday we do Crash Course over with the Final Round guys and girls, and get our testing in for the week. So that's all I got. And don't forget, I also have daily videos, so just subscribe across all fields. Yeah, just do that. And then, that's it. So until the next video, take care.